Hey guys, how's it going? Today, it's been a while since I've given you guys an update, and so I wanted to give you an update today on a few things that are happening here at our house. There's a lot going on. We've been having quite a few different projects going on, and so I just want to take some time this morning and share them with you. First, and I want to show you all the seedlings and do a seedling check with you in my greenhouse. Um, I have planted seedlings 3 or 4 days ago. I don't really expect to have any seedlings popping up, um, today, but I did want to get out here and do a check to see if anything needs watered and that sort of thing. And so we're going to just do that together. Okay, definitely warm in here. All this stuff is really starting to, this is creeping Jenny, and so this is really starting to pop up here. This is also creeping Jenny. You can see it's popping up there. This moment decided just to start taking off, and I have one sprouting down there and right here. And I know you guys have already seen this stuff a little bit, but here are all of my seedlings. So I have them all domed until they're all domed until they get some sprouts on them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and 5 right below it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a run through and a check. I'm actually going to shut my greenhouse door. It is supposed to be in the 60s today, but it's still early in the morning, and so it's warm in the greenhouse. But I just don't want, actually maybe I won't shut it. I'm seeming to not be able to shut the door myself for some reason on the inside. So, here are these, and I actually intended on, putting some like plastic wrap over these, and now that I look at it, I just completely forgot. But here are lupins and calendula. I have never grown calendula, but I do really want to. I am going to give those a little bit of water, because they're not dry, but I know that they're seedlings, and so they need some little more extra water. I did go ahead and move my lettuce out here whenever I planted the seedlings. So it's been 4 or 5 days. The spinach and more spinach. So lots of spinach and a lettuce there. These were one of the projects that me and the kids planted, I don't know, a month ago probably. So these are probably a month old, maybe a little bit more than that actually. But there's those. So I have some flowers in both of those. Okay, so in this tray, which I really don't want to disrupt the germination at all, but we have Romas, beefsteak, Amish paste tomatoes, and Daster tomatoes. No sproutings yet, but I didn't expect germination to really happen yet with those, so if any of them, actually. So, here I have all of my herbs. So I did 5 of each of the herbs. One of my goals is to really grow my own this year and dry them and just have my own herbs. So these are actually all bulbs that I went ahead and planted just to get them pre-sprouted and that sort of thing. Gladiolus, those are pretty easy to grow actually. But I didn't even cover them, but they actually, the soil feels a little cool. It was a cold night last night, so hopefully the cold might, impact the germination a little bit. It just might delay it a little bit, but stuff will still grow for sure. These are all of the lettuce. So, yeah, I've got a variety of different lettuce in there. I did a lot of cabbage because cabbage holds and stores really well. So it's not like those are going to go bad at harvest time. And I plan to do another round of cabbage as well. And they're actually just a really beautiful plant. Like, cabbage are just beautiful. I have these trays a little too close that they're not opening very well. These are all the pepper plants. So Hungarian hot, sweet banana, keystone bell, jalapeno. And I mean, you can just see the moisture, right? It's great. It's doing its job. And then in here is, more flowers. Yep, all flowers. So, zinnias, dahlias, that sort of thing. And then the blueberry shrubs are down there, and they are doing very well. I'm actually probably going to be putting these out in the raised beds, I want to take you real quick and show you that project that we have out there. But that's a little seedling update. I did also get some succulents cut because I want to put these in some soil. I was just, when you propagate succulents, you just have to chop them off and then just let that end dry out for just a day or so, and then just plop these right down in dirt. And so I plan to do that. It's on my list to do. I just haven't done it yet. But I brought these in. These were, that needs some water. That's a spider plant. More succulents, which these actually could all be trimmed down more even, because they're just getting they're getting large. And then this was a cactus that I tried to propagate as well, and it's flopped over, but it is actually doing well because quite a bit of time ago. So I am going to actually just go ahead and water what I need to water in here real quick. Not too much, just the lettuce, and the seeds are all doing really well. They're retaining a lot of moisture with the domes on them. So I'm expecting by the end of the week, maybe to start seeing some tomato sprouts, because those tomatoes germinate pretty quickly, at least in my experience. So I do plan to shoot in the lettuce here with some water and the spinach. Okay, and I'll be back in to finish watering what I need to. Probably shoot some water on my blueberries as well. I actually might just pull them out and get the sunlight and start, getting those acclimated to the outdoor weather as well. But they're doing really great. I'm excited to get those in the ground. I'm not quite sure when I should put them in the ground. I also want to make sure that my ground is ready for them to the best of my ability. So I'll give you a little update too on my winter sowing. If you didn't catch my video on the winter sowing, go back through my videos and check out what winter sowing is and the point of it. But I like to just peek down in these, which I actually need to move these ones out a little bit because they're really not getting much sun. And you do want them, even though you don't want them cooking in the sun, you do want them to get some sunlight for sure. So I just had a few jugs there that needed to be pulled out. But I have labels on all of these containers. Those are all flowers. Those are all flowers, which those are my most recent winter sowing. The lid completely blew off, and I can see the seed right there. There's a seed. Blanket flower is that. So I don't even know if I'm going to get anything at this point out of that, because I don't know if I ruined them by that lid falling off. Oh my goodness, look. Okay, these are paradise poppies. Do you see the tiny little green sprouts? That's so exciting. That means there's growth. There's tiny green sprouts. And here's my gray poppies. And it's not, there we go. I was going to say it's not zooming in. Gray poppies. I think the poppies are really the only flowers that I have. Because they like cold. These are also poppies. These are a red poppy. I checked a few days ago and I didn't see any other variation of anything growing yet. So if I see anything other than poppies growing, which I'm looking. You can see all my winter sowing jugs. I was kind of hoping maybe some herbs would be popping up. I see greenery in there. What is that? Oh, my zinnias. I don't know if I'm able to get to zoom on there. A little tiny green sprout in there of a zinnia. I'm surprised on that one. Okay. I'm looking. This is like a major waiting game. Just waiting for the right time to see your little seeds sprouted, that you've had snow on them. You've had everything on them. Okay. So just the poppies at this point. And like 2 sprouts of a zinnia. Shut my greenhouse door here. It is again going to get quite warm out today, but better safe than sorry. I'd rather it be a little toasty in there. Okay, the chickens in the back, I have not done any feeding or watering yet this morning, so they are anxiously waiting for me to do that. But these chickens, I think we're going to be pulling out because they're big enough to run away and defend themselves a little bit, so they need to be pulled out of there and join the rest of the chickens in the coop. And then, once again, I have not done any feed yet, so they're all going to be ready to see me. for feed and water. It started to sprinkle a little bit last night, so I came out here and fixed all the tarps. So here's our little rabbits. These guys just got separated from their mom, and I cannot open the pen right now one-handed. But there they are. Hi. So there are 4. Cannot tell if the phone is focusing, guys. They're all in there, quite calm right now. Must have been sleeping because they're all stretching and whatnot. Wasn't safe seeing me out here. But we have not figured out their gender yet. We need to, and I need to get them separated. But we're in the process of just Ethan's putting together a couple more pens, and so that's what we're waiting on to separate them. But Charlotte's out here, and Finn's out here. Hi, boy. And there's our mama to these babies. They are completely weaned. They've been weaned for a couple weeks now, actually. So all right. We do have another pen here that's open currently. It doesn't have any in it. There's her dad. Biggie boy in there. And then here is our New Zealand. She's always needs food and water because she's always out. But she should be currently growing little babies in there. We bred her 2 weeks ago. It's been almost 2 weeks. So anyway, and I'll give you a little update on the super little rabbits. They are, what is today, Thursday? They are like 2.5 weeks old. So, and their mamas are probably excited to see me too because ready to eat. So I'll give you an update on them. Okay, here is our lion hen litter. Look how cute. They are just starting to really open their eyes. She has 5 in there. We did lose one last week. Little one might flop out. They are still in the shed. We are really getting into some warmer weather, and so they're going to be big enough here. Big enough here to come out real soon. But she's got 5 in there. And then, hello. Hi. Hi. I, again, need to... There's all of her babes. She's a little protective. We've gotten in. I mean, I get in every day and I touch the little rabbits and whatnot. But she's a little protective. And then there's all of them. They are all a darker fur. But I'm going to pull them out. Hi. Hi. Yes, you need attention too, huh? She is a Californian. But they're all in there too. So give them some food before I go and take their babies out and handle them and make sure they're doing all good. So time for feed. All right, a little closer look at these little baby buns in here. Just trying to check to see if they have all of their eyes open or not. She's a really pretty color. She's like a orhid. That's a light gray. Look at all that fur. You can tell she's gonna be long-haired. Well, I don't actually know because she doesn't actually have any long hair in her, but look at her go. You stay over here. Come on. There she is. They're big. They're getting big. Two, 3. Guess I should like block this off because I'm a little outnumbered. Come on, back over here you go. Go on. And then he's the only dark one. Well, darker. An interesting color for sure. Okay. I'm gonna put them back in. There's one more in there. She's hiding from me. Big. Come here. All right. Go. Come here. There you go. Come here. There you go. All in and accounted for. All right, these are 100% lops. So, and their mama is a Holland lop, and she does have long hair. So these have potential to be long hair. The other ones weren't. But there's that one. Come here. All black. Mama is pretty much all black. She's got some brown tipped ears. And daddy's white. Finn is their daddy. He's an interesting color too, or she, because got like grays, browns, black, but this is the cute point where they're not, you know, running away from you too much. You know, they're still not faster than you, and just learning how to really get around. Hey there, buddy. Make sure his eyes. Nope, this one's eyes aren't even open yet. You see that? Pretty much all black. We're going to put him back in because the white's eyes are definitely open. Come here. And starting to. For sure. Okay. Come here. There you go. All right, and these are meat rabbits. We have 3 in here. She did have a litter of 4, but we lost one. These ones, they actually look smaller right now. Not quite growing as fast. Come here. Eyes are starting to open. This one's a little bigger. Oops, eyes open on him. Hi. Cute, huh? And come here. I'm surprised, like we have a total of 7 meat rabbits now. Look at the little white tipped ears. And they're all a darker color. So the daddy's dark. You went out too. So I suppose that gene is strong. This one's significantly smaller than the other ones, the other 2. This is like really the age and the point where I'm really pulling my kids in to play with these little guys and get them really adapted and used to us so that, you know, they're comfortable around us. We've gotten all of the other rabbits, all of the full-grown rabbits that we have right now. We had gotten them all from different rabbitries. and things like that. And almost full grown. They were almost all full grown when we got them. And, okay, I think we're good in here. And because of that, they really weren't used to us at all. They weren't used to people touching them. They weren't used to being petted or anything like that. And made it a little challenging because, you know, you want to, especially the kids, me not so much. I'm not a super animal person. Oddly enough, I'm not. But, you know, the kids wanted to touch them and hold them and pet them, and it made it a little challenging because they really couldn't do that because they didn't want to be touched and they didn't really want to be a pet. Some of them do. The males are a little better than the females. But we want these ones to be used to. We're not sure which ones we're going to be keeping. Obviously, the meat rabbits have a purpose. And then the other ones, we're considering keeping maybe a couple just for breeding and selling purposes. But nevertheless, we want to acclimate them to us and the kids and just be used to it. So, hi, chicks. Anyway, I have more to show you guys out on all of our projects. So hang tight. I'm getting to all the projects now. Okay, so project number 1 is making another rabbit hutch. So we are going to be, it's going to obviously be placed right in front of our other one. We're going to be doing the top, kind of like the top level, all storage. So we're going to be storing like our extra nesting boxes there. If we have extra feeding or feeders or dishes or the water bottles, they'll all be up there. We'll probably have like buckets in our hay bales or the hay for them. We're going to store up there. And then we're also probably going to be putting their whole feed barrels, cans in there. And then the rest is going to be cages, some more rabbit pens for them as well, because we are growing with that and going to keep that production kind of going. So we have that project number 1, and off to the next one. Okay, project number 2 is we are getting all of this. So over the years, well, we have really done nothing with this area except for mulch it. And over the years prior to us having the house, there was a black plastic laid, and then mulch, and then white plastic, and then rock, and then brown, another like industrial weed mat, and then more mulch. And we did not realize that all of that was under here until, well, we knew the weed mat was there, but the other layers we didn't really know. So we are trying to dig this. We already dug this up because we had I'll show you on this side, half of it's done, half of it's not done. Do you see this edging? Because the buildup of the stuff kept getting higher than the sidewalk. And I had told Ethan that this year we're going to dig this out because I'm tired of having stuff just fall out all over the sidewalk and whatnot. So I want to get rid of this edging and it just be level or below the sidewalk level even after we've mulched. So this side is done. It's a good 2 to 3 inches below, maybe even more in some areas. It's not quite done, but you can see the mixture of rock and mulch and just terrible dirt because it's been covered for years and years and years. So I had to like dig up my plants, and I'm hoping that they do okay with me digging them up and putting them back in, because I had to they were basically planted on top of the weed barrier, and so I had to rip all that up. Anyway, and so I do have a little hyacinth plant coming up there, if you can see it, popping out. And then this is just an early spring. I don't even know what it's called. And then I have some other things that still need to go in the ground. They have a mulch and things like that. So this is another project that we're currently working on. And I wanted to be able to see that rock ledge there, and you could hardly even see it before. So progress is progress in this area. I had also dug out already. There's an area down here as well that was completely over the sidewalk. So you can see there that this really just needed dug out too, so we could see we wouldn't have the mess just continually being carried on, and it would rain and this whole thing would just flood. The whole sidewalk here just floods whenever we get ample rain. So this all needs dug out too. This whole project here needs to be completely redone as well. I don't know that we're going to be doing it we're definitely not going to be doing it this spring because we have so many other projects right now. But within the next year, maybe the fall, we will redo all this. We'll see. But definitely probably not this spring. But I want to rip out all those railroad ties and just redo this. But maybe in the fall, we shall do that. So, on to project and the biggest, project number 3. Okay, so project number 3 is my raised bed garden. So currently I have told you guys and showed you guys the concrete molds that Ethan did, and we were pouring those. And so here are the beds for those. We have 8. We are not done. This is where we're actually taking all of our dirt from under where I'm digging out on the sidewalk, around the sidewalk there. This stuff is actually so rich. Now it does have a little bit of rock mixed in it, but I figured it would be okay. It's okay. So there's not so much that it would interfere with the root system or anything like that. A little bit of rock is okay. So we're putting that down as a base, and then we're putting topsoil. We had gotten a load of topsoil, and so we're putting that on top. I do need to fill these a little bit more, but I did already have 3 that are planted. So these are all raspberries. I have to yet get stakes, which I have started the stake project right here, and we're going to be just putting kind of like a trellis, a wire trellis up for them to just grow upright and not blocking the aisle for me to walk through. And then I have a bed of blackberries and 2 red raspberries there. So this one is going to get strawberries. This one, well, I'm not quite sure what all we're going to be getting yet, but this one for sure is going to be the strawberries. These 2, this one's going to be potatoes. I'm going to have 1 whole bed of potatoes. I'm going to have strawberries. I'm going to have onions, a bed of onions, and my blueberries. Yes, this I should think for a second. This one's going to be blueberries, and then we are actually going to be doing 2 more raised beds, which we're just kind of putting them together as we're getting the concrete molded and hardened and everything like that. And so it's really just been a slow process, but it's been going well. But we're going to be putting 2 more planters here. We have space in this garden. You can see we already started the fence. Today our plan is to finish the fencing. I'm going to be doing a whole row of elderberries along this side. This here we have, I forget how much, maybe 7 or 8 feet here. And so between the space, and so we're going to be doing a whole row of elderberries, shrubs here along this inside here. But I plan to do 2 of the raised garden beds, possibly full of corn. I'm not quite sure if that's the best route or if I'm going to be just doing them in my regular vegetable garden, which is all the way out there alongside the house, which is where I do my tomatoes and my peppers and broccoli and stuff like that. And so, anywho, we have room for 4 more raised beds in this garden, but we're going to just do 2 for right now, because it's just a work in progress. So our plan is to do 10, possibly see how this year goes, and if we needed them more, then I can obviously always utilize them. I'd like to have 1 bin of cut flowers, fresh cut flowers, so I'd like to have 1 for that as well. So we will see what we end up doing and how this all ends up going. I plan to split my grasses out there, and we're going to be doing like an edging on the outside of some tall grasses. We already have the arborvitae planted along this line and some fruit trees, and so I plan to lay cardboard all down in between all of this, which I've already started collecting cardboard. And then we're going to be doing a hemlock mulch on top of all of that. So we have a vision for it, and we're going to be planning on finishing the fence. I will show you Ethan's project as of yesterday. He built this nice entryway. I'm just absolutely in love with it. And so this is going to be the entrance to, as you can see, we have dirt pile, it's our topsoil pile, and toys, of course. But this is going to be the entryway into the garden, and it is absolutely stunning. Super excited about it. The gate is 4 feet. I think the whole fencing is 4 foot high. So we have deer here. And so we had to build something, even though they could, in theory, jump that if they really wanted something in that. But anyway, so I forget the dimensions of this garden, and I guess it would be 50 by 40 feet. I feel like I'm wrong on that. But I think it's 50 by 40, somewhere around that ballpark. But we just have this row here to connect to the archway, and then around there as well. So is project number 3. Thanks guys so much for joining me today on this little project update and garden update, and excited to see the growing seeds and just come to life. And so thanks guys so much. Have a great day.